Hi everybody, this is Diane. I just have a little bit of a miscellaneous chit chat today, I guess. First of all, I wanted you to know that I am feeling better today. I really appreciate all of the kind comments you left on yesterday's video. My haul video, or not my haul, my Happy Mail video, where I confessed that had been feeling pretty down and discouraged, and the Happy Meal helped, but your comments helped so much also. And I had some prayer time, and a devotional book that I read last night really helped me a lot, so I am doing better today. So I just wanted to chat a little bit. I went to the farmers market, the Windmill Farmers Market in Dundee, Penyan area of New York. I just went 2 weeks ago with my sister and her husband, and then I went again today. Today's Saturday, by the way, although you'll see this on Sunday. I went today with my friend, and my daughter-in-law came with us because she hadn't been yet this year. They still had the Concord grapes, so I got some more grapes, and I got enough to share with my mother again. And I bought some fudge, just a quarter pound of vanilla fudge and a quarter pound of tiger butter fudge. And if you don't know what tiger butter fudge is, it's vanilla fudge with swirls of peanut butter and chocolate through it. And I make fudge, but I don't have a recipe for vanilla fudge. White chocolate I've found, but I don't want white chocolate, I want vanilla. So when I feel like vanilla fudge, I buy it. So anyway, in addition to that, I got these few things, just this. So I got this little book of family stamps, one of the little loyalty stamps that you would get when you buy groceries and then redeem them, and this one's pretty full. It's actually completely full. It has instructions for redemption. So I got that for $1, and then I got this one also for $1, and this one doesn't have any, it has a few. It has a few stamps in it. And then there were gold bond stamps. Gold bond stamp book. And it does have a few stamps in it. Well, I guess it would be considered a full book because you're only supposed to do number 10 stamps per page, and there's 3 on every page, so this is a full book. Never redeemed. And then Save Liberty Straight Trading Stamps stamp book. So it actually tells you things you can buy. I wonder what year this is. I wonder if it says. Must be during the war. World War II. Have you your catalog? So you can get an iron, a lightweight steam iron, sheets and pillowcases, toaster, and a grill, scales, bathroom scales. Isn't that fun? Oh, there's a little postage stamp. This postage stamp says 1966 on it. This is really fun. And I don't see a year. And then I got this, the National Bank of Geneva, and this is from 1960. And it's an address book. Personal Teldex Directory. It has a lot of sponsors in it. And then places to write. I guess it's, yeah, name and address and phone number. So that's cool. And then the last thing I got was one golden book. It's not an old one, but it's The World of Barbie, 50 Years of Books, it says. Little golden book. Random House. But I love the vintage Barbie that's in it. This is from 2012. And it's very stiff, like this front cover hasn't even been folded, opened. So I thought this would make a really fun journal, or yeah, junk journal. So that's all I got besides edible things. I also wanted to show you when I do get back to crafting. I don't know when I will, because I've been working on cleaning, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, like cleaning up my craft room. I have to do a design team project for Artsology, and I chose her belly bands, which may be unusual. You might think it's unusual because I don't use a lot of belly bands, but I thought I would use them for different things too, because they're so pretty. They're collaged. So this is what they look like, and there are 6 belly bands in the set. And then I printed them two sets to a page, so they're smaller. So I have these to play with, and I'm just going to give you a sneak peek. The journals may involve these really pretty fabrics. Which I've had for a while, haven't used yet. And this little sheet of stickers that I got in a Happy Mail. So that's all I'm going to show you so far for those journals. So yesterday I spent the entire day pretty much just kind of deep cleaning in my craft room. It is taking me a long time to get through everything. I've been destashing, as you know. So yesterday I was over at my stamping and coloring and painting table and that area. So I tested all of my markers. Well, not my Stampin' Up! Markers, but my paint pens and things like that, just to make sure they still work. And threw away some that didn't work. Just sorted stuff over there. And then I did my mixed media little 3-tiered cart thing and organized that. And I ended up at my armoire and my I'm gonna do a tour once I get this room all cleaned up, even though I'm hoping to move and this won't be my craft room at some point, but I don't know when. I might be here for the winter. I don't know. But on top of my armoire, I had little totes of Smashbook stuff. So I took them downstairs so that I could just watch TV while I sorted through everything, because it was kind of a big mess. And I haven't been using my Smashbooks for quite a while, so I needed to see what was in there. So I found some really cool stuff. First of all, I just want to show you my 3 Smashbooks that aren't completed. This one is called My Favorite Things, and I know I have videos on these Smashbooks, but they're probably way down deep in my list of videos. So I just used a blue cloth-covered book for this. This is duct tape here. And I cut this with my Cricut, and this was from a pad of DCWV paper called My Favorite Things. So this journal is about my favorite things. Put a pocket there, which there's nothing in right now, but I will put something in. So, Chocoholic, it says here. So I wrote about chocolate things that I like. I love this image. It actually came off of a greeting card display that we were going to throw away. It's quite heavy. And I glued some paper to the back of it, cut it out, and wrote on it about, because she's like a domestic goddess, so I wrote about the domestic things that I like to do. I do like to be domestic, especially when my husband was here. I just liked being domestic. And on this paper I wrote about my favorite books, things I love, my favorite TV shows, and favorite things to do. When I put this book together, I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, even though it said my favorite things on the front. Maybe I added that as an afterthought. I don't know. So I just put papers in here that I liked. But this map page was one of the things that I put in here, so I wrote, I love maps, because I do. I love maps. I like studying maps. And there's little circles cut from an atlas here, and a little tag that I printed from the internet. I wrote, I have a terrible sense of direction and I get lost easily, but I love to look at maps. And this is a coin pocket. I'm going to have to do this again. A coin envelope, and I just cut it out. I cut it short and then used a edge punch to make a scalloped edge on it and just glued it on there as a little pocket. And this is from the My Favorite Things paper pad. And I had put her in here, and she's standing in the rain with an umbrella, and I do love rainy days. So I just left that page plain and simple and wrote, I love rainy days. This page, I collaged a whole bunch of stuff on it and put this envelope on, this little pocket that says 10 things I love about my life. And it came with these little sticks, and I could write on there 10 things that I love about my life. And this was, I did this years ago, before my husband died. So I haven't read them since then, so I don't think I'll read them right now. Today's favorite playlist. So I wrote down, you want to know who I'm very old school. I wrote everyday favorite playlist. Dan Fogelberg, one of my very, 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 very favorite. Neil Diamond, another. Mozart, the Carpenters, Billy Joel, Beethoven, and Enya. It's kind of eclectic, but it's, nothing modern is in there. But those are my favorites, or some of them. These are 2 blank pages that I can write on. These pages will be about music. Music is an important part of my life. And then this page is about books. It's got a lot of collaging again, and it's got some library cards. So I can write some things about books on those. And then I wrote some of my favorite books here. And there's a quote by Ella Montgomery from Anne of Green Gables. It's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will. I love Anne of Green Gables. And she's on my list here of some favorite books. The Bible, A Woman After God's Own Heart, which is like a devotional type of book. Jane Eyre, Alice in Wonderland. Oh dear, sorry. Wuthering Heights, the Mitford series by Jan Karon, the Arthur Merlin series by Mary Stewart, the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, Anne of Green Gables, and Annie Jane Austen. This is about organizing. I love organizing and I love being organized, which means I love organizing tools and containers. I love personal planners. So these are some pictures of some really pretty Franklin Covey planners. I get their catalogs in the mail. And I actually have a Franklin Covey planner, but I use Day Runner pages in it. Some more blank pages. Things to do around the house. I had to cut this was a 12 by 12 page. I had to cut it up to get it on there, but I have to write on that. More empty space. This is one of my favorite scripture verses, Jeremiah 29:11. I can write it. I have lots of room. This is a stamp. It says a few of my favorite things. So I can certainly fill that in. And here's another stamp I have, just a few of my favorite things. Find joy in the little things. Long time ago, Good Housekeeping magazine used to have a little, I wouldn't call it an article, it was just a little section in each magazine. I forgot the woman's name that wrote it, but it was called Life Savors, S-A-V-O-R-S. Little things to savor in life. So I like that idea. so I can write things like that there. So I've got lots of room to fill in here. Lots of room. Some of my favorite foods from Schwann's when my husband was the driver, the salesman for Schwann's. I love pens. Love that paper. That's graphic 45 paper. This is a page about movies. So this is just some pictures of the movies of Anne of Green Gables and The Road to Avonlea, because not only do I love the books, but I loved that series, a mini-series with, what's her name? Megan Follows. She was, everybody in that series was awesome. I guess I don't have anything written on anything else. I had this so it would show there, I think, yeah. And then in this pocket, I have this giant tag with some of my favorite movies. The Sound of Music, The Wizard of Oz, Camelot, Fiddler on the Roof, Oklahoma, see they're all musicals, August Rush, the Harry Potter series, Mr. Holland's Opus, Oz the Great and Powerful, Disney's Snow White, Bambi, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled. I've got more I could add to that now. I put this picture of strawberries on there and put stickers on there that spell out I love strawberries. I should take a picture of my Concord grapes and put them on there. I do love this. A cushy chair, a pile of books. I'd rather have a really good reading lamp than a candelabra, but you know, that looks pretty. And I don't really need the crown. It doesn't look very comfortable, but I love a good reading chair and a stack of books. So there's my favorite things. And then this one I made to write about my childhood. So there's a picture of me when I was little in my footy pajamas and look at that stack of books on the armchair, one on my lap. So this is a ribbon that I had bought a long time ago. I never knew what to do with it, but when I started on this journal, I cut pieces of it and used it in here. So this says blowing bubbles, licking the spoon, favorite things from childhood. I actually still like both of those. There's a little girl, I had this stamp, little girl playing the piano. And it's an upright piano, an old upright like what I had growing up, and a little round stool that spins. So that's me at the piano. I just love this page. I printed this from the internet, Lovell's on Lake Street. It was an old-fashioned ice cream parlor that we used to go to when I was young. It was near where my dad worked, but I thought I'd stick that in there somewhere. Here's another piece of that ribbon that says hot cocoa. Nothing written on those tags. I just love the paper pad that I used in this book, and I can't remember what it was called. Cut and Paste. K & Company Cut and Paste. It was one of the first paper pads. I had to order it online because I saw somebody on YouTube who had made a journal, a smash book out of this paper pad, and I loved it. So I've got some writing to do here and filling in. This is a vellum pocket that has 3 large tags in it that I can write on. I had to fill in with other papers too, but most of the papers are cut and paste because they look like they're collaged together. Some of them are, because I didn't want to throw away the cutoff pieces, so I glued it to this, and then I stamped here, put some washi tape down the seam. Made a little pocket there. There's some more of that ribbon. It says picking blackberries and sprinklers. We used to have a variety of berry bushes on our property. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, huckleberries. We had a lot of fun picking berries and wild strawberries in our field, which are little but very delicious. There's nothing in there. So I've got lots of room to do stuff in here. I can make copies of some photos from my childhood and stick them in here and write about them. I really need to take the time to do that. This is a large envelope that I covered in a pretty scrapbook paper, and there's nothing in it. Some of my scraps from the cut and paste paper. A couple of tags are tucked in there. I just love this book because I love the paper so much. Looks like I didn't do too much in this book as far as filling it in. Favorite places to eat. Now, when I was young, you know, this book is about my childhood. We didn't go out to eat much. Once in a great while, we would go to A&W, and we would go to Curly's Chicken House, which is still in existence in Elmira, New York, which is, sometimes we would go there and then go to Lovell's Ice Cream Parlor for dessert, because they were pretty close together. So I don't really have a lot to write here, except my mom was an excellent cook. So I can write, our kitchen was a favorite place to eat. You know, so we didn't go out to eat much when I was young. Today's favorite playlist again. So actually I can write about the records that we listened to when I was young. My mom and dad had some Pat Boone, Johnny Cash. They even had a 45 of Elvis Presley's Heartbreak Hotel. But we had our kids' records too that we listened to, so I could write down whatever I can remember of that. I'll put one of my childhood photos right there. Nothing in that envelope. So that's a really fun journal. Now this is, I have other Smash books that I have filled up. This is the one that I am currently working in, but like I said, I haven't done it in a long time. And I love the papers in this too. I specifically ordered them page by page online just because I loved them. I filled this all up with washi tapes. Every time I got new washi tape, I put some on there. And this Portuguese word, I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't speak Portuguese. This illustration was made by Portuguese artist Fatina Ramos, who now lives in Belgium. The image depicts saudade, the one Portuguese word for which there is simply no translation. It is a feeling, or more like an ache, of missing something so much it empties you inside, an emptiness that can only be filled by beautiful memories. So I liked that picture. See, she's got a heart that's open, and she's, I guess, soaking in the memories. And I just liked that picture, and I liked that description. So I put that in there. This came out of a magazine. This is from when my sister and I went to see the Phantom of the Opera in Buffalo, New York, on the bus ride. And that was 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago, almost. Let's see. I had purchased a journal from Adeline Country Cottage, from Christy, and something from Gina at the Rebookery, and I put their little tags there. There's one of my husband's business cards. This came off my very first smartphone. I was very late to the game for that. This came out of a book, The Little Things in Life. It's kind of like those lifesavers I was talking about. And I had written this a long time ago. Let's see what they were. Find moments to celebrate every day, especially on work days. How easy it is to forget that the little things in life turn out to be the important things. What ways of celebrating would you add to the list? Stroll in the garden to see the new blossoms. Touch them and cup them in your hand. I don't have a flower garden anymore. Well, I kind of do, but I used to have a big flower garden at my other house. Make bread. Knead dough by hand. Smell it baking, eat it warm. Make a batch of fudge. Light candles. Write a letter. Go for a walk to glimpse others' gardens and sing songs of praise to God. We have a children's author that lives in the valley. I think she lives right here in Athens, and I see her at Walmart quite often when I'm doing the Hallmark cards there. But she writes books about Big Bear. Sleep, Big Bear, sleep. Sneeze, Big Bear, sneeze. And other books. Share, Big Bear, share. But there's others. Sneezy the Snowman, Barnyard Fun, Earth Day, Birthday. Anyway, she wrote all these books, and then she came to the library to read to the children, and I took Layla there, my granddaughter, and bought Layla a book that Maureen autographed. Her name is Maureen Wright. I'd like to know if any of you have heard of these books, because, you know, she's our local author, but they're nationally published. I don't even know the publishing company, but, you know, she writes children's books. That's pretty cool. And these are my mother's cards from when she did artwork. She painted on glass, she painted paintings, and she would do shows, like go to craft shows and things, and she had these different cards over the years. She didn't do that till after we were all out of the house. A young lady that I know who's in college now, she goes to my church, and we have a good connection, and we still communicate. And she was in dance her whole life, and so she was in the Sayre High School drama, Seussical the musical, and I was so excited I got to go see her in that. So these are the program and the tickets from that. Just a high school production. Here's another thing from that book. What do you think of when you think of small moments? And I wrote, giving a baby a bath, petting a cat, feeling its back arch under the soft fur, cool, crisp, clean sheets, sitting in my garden swing, feeling the breeze, smelling the fragrance, watching bees and butterflies. So I wrote that way back when, it's like over 14 years ago, when I lived in that house with that garden. More things I need to write on. I went to Mansfield University to hear a young man do his senior recital. A young man that I'm friends with his family. And I put in some movie tickets. I've got a lot more that I have to put in here. Beauty and the Beast. This is something my granddaughter wrote for me for my birthday. Dear Grandma, I love you so much. I hope you have a great 5 years. Happy birthday. 5 years, I guess, is an eternity to her, so. Christopher Robin, what a cute movie. We went to the drive-in to see that. The Greatest Showman, I went with my friend. These are Pioneer Woman dishes. I took this image out of the Pioneer Woman magazine because I have these dishes. I have those bowls and those plates. I have the big dinner plates. And I have a different style, a different design of cereal bowls. But anyway, I put that in there because I love those dishes. Here's a picture of my local library with the cherry blossom branches in front of it. This was taken out of a local little periodical thing. And just a little booklet that I haven't used. I got this in a Happy Mail or something and I stuck it in there. Oh, this is when my daughter and I went to Philadelphia to see Neil Diamond. And I'm so glad we got to do that. He's retired, no longer doing concerts because he has Parkinson's. And this was his final tour. I mean, this was before he announced to the world that he had Parkinson's. This was in 2017. This was a Reester bunny from the Reese's company, Hershey company, and I kept this because I know the young man who did that graphic. In fact, I went to Alaska with his parents, so that's pretty cool. I have a dear friend who loves penguins. We had a birthday party for her, and those were like confetti on the tables. I just put these pictures in here from, I think from People magazine or something, because I was enjoying that PBS series, Victoria. I wonder if, I'm thinking it'll probably be back on soon. Some more movie tickets. I went to see Wonder, House with a Clock in Its Walls. There's Incredibles 2 and Trolls. Yes, I like the kids' movies. This is my grandson Teddy's school program. There's his name. I circled it. It was called the Granny Awards. And then my other grandson Adam was in a school play, and he was the wolf. Here's another thing from that book that I wrote in. There is a comfort in time-worn objects, a beauty in imperfection. Timeless treasures soothe our minds and bodies, and they don't cost much. What timeless treasures would you add to the list? Working in a garden, then enjoying its beauty, reading a book on a rainy day, reading to a child, a well-used Bible with handwritten notes and underlined verses, baby shoes, writing in a journal, a surprise visit from family or friends, and fresh strawberries. This page is kind of bittersweet. We had a neighborhood picnic at my church. So there's an invitation from it. 6 weeks after this picnic, my husband died. And then the following October, so it was just a year, a little over a year after he died, we had this ministry team come to our church. Great, great, great music. These people were awesome. And it's called the Coffee Ministries because the leader is I forgot his first name, but it's Aaron Coffee and his wife. But they are so good. And then not long, 2 months after they were at our church, the young man here was killed in a car accident. So bittersweet because, you know, this was one of the last events I went to with my husband, and this was a wonderful concert that I enjoyed before he passed away. So, you know, you never know what is going to happen in life, and you enjoy the moments that you have. But isn't the scrapbook paper beautiful? I used scraps, cut off pieces that I didn't want to throw away, and just made little tuck spots, and I had to do all kinds of fun things with those cut off pieces so I wouldn't throw any of them away. A couple of movies that I like, Fantastic Beasts and La La Land. This is from the newspaper. My son is in a rocking chair. This is a float with children sitting there, and he's reading to them. This is a float from our church, and it was in a Christmas parade. And this is a photo from a newspaper and that's my grandfather right there. So this was, I don't know, this is from 1928-29, the photo, and the newspaper was, I don't know how old the newspaper was, but, you know, obviously it was memory lane type of article. They often do that in our local paper, but this is just a copy of it. I printed it. This is just poinsettias that we purchased in memory of my husband. Some chopsticks. Christmas program that my grandkids were in. Stuff I need to write on. Another Christmas, yeah, 2 different Christmas programs. These are from those uppercase books that I love. I have 6 of them now, so apparently I have 3 more of these wrapper things. I wonder if I kept them. These were wrapped around them, and I liked those books so much that I glued those in here. And these also came from those wrappers. It's just some things from flowers that some friends sent me. This is from my car that I had to buy after Bill died. I needed a dependable car, so my son-in-law helped me buy a new Chrysler, and it's still working really good, and I love it. And it's been 3 years now. This is my sister's obituary. And when we were going through her things at my mother's house, when we had to clean out my parents' house so they could move, I found this with my sister's things, and it's in her writing. And so I kept it, and it says, "When you wake up, get up. You're missing the best part of your day." I needed to remind myself of that. I still do. I have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, especially when I haven't slept well. And, oh boy, you're going to think I'm so morbid, but, you know, this was the period of my life that I was losing a lot of people. This is, she was 101, I think. 101 or 102 when she died. She used to be my neighbor. I've known her my whole life because she went to my church. And then this was an obituary for the man that kind of took my husband under his wing when he was just out of high school. My husband came from a very dysfunctional family, and this was a Christian man that Bill went to work for, and he took him under his wing, and he actually he and his wife stood in for my husband's parents when we got married, because his parents had both died. So his wife sent me the obituaries. They lived in Florida by then. Just a ladies' conference thing that I went to. And there's my granddaughter and my grandson. And my granddaughter is quite artistic, and she just drew a pirate couple there with crayon on a Applebee's placemat, and I asked her if I could have it. It's my neighbor, his graduation card. They moved. They're not my neighbors anymore. We did a Dr. Seuss day. We used to do that every March. We would go to, our library had a Dr. Seuss fun day every year in March in honor of his birthday, but it was always so crowded in there and not a lot of fun. I mean, the kids had fun, but we grown-ups didn't. So we started doing Dr. Seuss Day at my house, and you can look on Pinterest and you can find all kinds of fun things to do for Dr. Seuss Day. So those are my 4 grandkids. Even Monica, the older one, had fun. So this was a really fun craft that they did. And just, you know, having a good Dr. Seuss Day. And then Billy and I, my son and I, had a date to see the Avengers Infinity Wars, and we had dinner at the Outback. His dad used to get pretty excited about any new Avenger movie, and so does he. He still does. And I would have gone to see this with Bill. So Billy took me to see it, which was really nice. I think this vellum envelope just has some things I haven't done anything with. Yep. So that is my Smash book, and this video has been longer than I expected. So this is my tote that I had been storing stuff in. This is the envelope of stuff that I have to smash. So I think I'm going to do a session of smashing in here on camera, if you would like to see that. If you want to hang out with me while I do some smashing and maybe get this book filled in. So some of you, I do make and sell smash books, and some of you wanted to know what is a smash book and what's the difference between a smash book and a junk journal and stuff. So maybe this helped, and maybe seeing me use a smash book would help too. So I hope that you had fun just hanging out and chatting with me or listening to me chat. I found this smash book too that I've never used, and I love. It's a fashion smash book. I love the images, and I was debating on, because I've never used it, I was debating on whether I would put it in my shop. I need to look at it a couple more times and see if I think I'll actually use it, and if not, I think I might put it in my shop. So I'll do a flip through of it if I do decide to put it in my shop. So I guess that's it for tonight. I will see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.